Hi, this is Billy Terracia with Modern Law Practice, and today I'm going to share with you my new and improved and updated closing prop. For those of you who have taken online intake boot camp or come to an in-person intake workshop and done workshop training, you understand how important it is to have a closing prop. And it's especially important if you as the law firm owner aren't doing the consultations, if you are having a sales consultant do it, or if you're trying to train your associates to do it. So during one of our workshops, we revised ours. We were working, part of our workshop day is set aside for people to work on what's going on in their law firm, and no one needed me. So me and a few attorneys from my firm worked on an updated prop, which I'm really excited about. I'm very excited to see what happens with our conversion rate, which is really good right now, really good. It's in the 70s, which is fantastic. I don't even really like it to be higher than that, but nevertheless, you can always do better. You can always be better at what you do. So first I want to share with you the original, which I wrote on an airplane one time, and here it is. So the modern law practice, or the modern law difference. First, we start with the initial consultation and strategy session. Here we really want to understand the players and the problems and define the objectives of the client and assign the right legal team. We have 3 different legal teams at Modern Law. Then the client and the legal team will work together to design a creative strategy to meet the client's objectives, including a plan A and a plan B. Now we're on to step 4, where we're going to outline a plan of least resistance and the most cost-effective strategy for you. Whenever possible, we're going to seek solutions around and outside the legal system, not in it. And then we're going to intentionally and patiently execute the strategy. Remember, time can be your ally. We're going to meet, communicate, and reevaluate. We never know how much it's going to cost. Let's get this out. But we do guarantee, or how long it's going to take, but we guarantee you will know what's going on at all times. It's not bad, but it's a whole lot of words. You could see me, even I who have said this a lot of times and gone through it a lot of times, kind of struggled with it. It could be more condensed. So here's version 2. What to expect when you work at Modern Law. So when do you use the prop? You use the prop right after you've really connected with the client and you've said, so you really want to do blah, 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 blah. Or your goal is to avoid a knockdown, drag-out fight, and you want to leave your family as intact as possible, but make sure that your interests are protected. Okay, whatever it is they said, and they say yes. And you're not doing that in legal terms. You're doing that in terms of what they value. So you want to make sure that you can live within your budget. You want to move out and you want to have enough money to pay your bills and be okay moving forward. So you're not saying you want to, anyway, you get the point. Then we move on to the closing prop. Here's 3 steps. I think this is going to be much easier for my team to execute. Step 1 is the initial consultation. Here we're going to understand the players, the problems, and we're going to define your objectives. We're also going to pick and assign the right legal team for you. Step 2 is going to be a strategy session. We're not going to decide everything today. So we're going to bring you back in for a strategy session and really work through everything that we've talked about today. And we're going to develop a plan A and a plan B. Plan A is always going around the legal system, and plan B is if it doesn't work. If the path of least resistance doesn't work, then we will have a plan B. And then step 3 is we're going to meet, communicate, and reevaluate your case. We never know how long this is going to take or exactly how much it's going to cost, but we do guarantee that you will know what's going on all the time, and you will make all the decisions when you work on Modern Law. That's a better closing prop, right? 3 steps, very simplified. I don't know that I would have been able to do that quite as succinctly the first time. We had to work with it. And then this came from an attorney, Marco Brown. I will tag him because he's pretty brilliant. And he said that his closing prop is, why should you work with our firm? And here's what we've got. More than 100 5-star reviews from Modern Law clients. Family laws are exclusive. Oh, see, I did this today, and I can see right now that I have periods on some and not on others. So you're seeing it first. I will go back and fix this. Your team is comprised of 6 attorneys, 3 paralegals, and support staff, so that someone is always available to meet your needs. We have transparent billing twice a month, so there's never any surprises. We have local connections to judges, advocates, and local experts to make sure that you need in order to make your case. And more than 90 total combined years experience in law. Communication is our top priority and first responsibility. I don't know that we need this sheet, but Marco, an attorney that I respect, that's fantastic at what he does, said that it's important and that it works really well in his firm. And so we thought we'd put it together. Obviously, it's still a work in progress. this. I've got some grammatical errors before I even showed it to you, but I wanted to share this. Now, only after that do you move on to price, okay? And I like to do that right here. So we go through these steps, and then it's, meet, communicate, reevaluate. You will always know what's going on. How does that sound? The answer is always yes. Yes, that sounds great. Because all we've said to them here is that we're going to understand them. They're going to be in charge. They're going to know what's happening. We're going to have a strategy. We're going to execute the strategy. This works for every single area of law and every single client and their problem. And they always say yes. And the next part is, okay, have you worked with attorneys before? That's usually a good segue. If they say no, fine. If they say yes, fine. If they say yes, then it's okay. So then most attorneys work where you deposit money into a trust account and then we bill against that. Or, if they say yes, unfortunately I had a DUI. That happened once. I said, well, it happens to a lot of people. But okay, so with your criminal attorney, you probably paid a flat fee. We don't work on flat fees. We work on a trust deposit. So you deposit $5,000 into the trust account and we bill against that. Do you have any questions about that? I do not walk through the terms of the fee agreement. I do not feel the need to tell them more than they're asking for. This is a rule in consultations. Give people the information they want, not the information you think they need to have. Usually at that point, they'll say, okay, fine. Then I come over here to my fee agreement. Now I want to take a second and just talk about this fee agreement. It's pretty. It probably doesn't look like your fee agreement. And it is written in English. I name what modern law to represent me in the legal matter in connection with, so then you write it in. And then this is mostly written in English. I've discussed my particular situation with the firm, and we agree that they will undertake this matter and work with me to achieve my goals and objectives using its lawyer's best judgment and skills on my behalf. It's still a little lawyerly. I bet we can even get it more clear and more in English, but we try to break it down into sections. We have flat fees within our fee agreement as well as hourly and retainers. And it's in a way that feels a little less intimidating. It doesn't feel like a contract. The other thing is we don't call it a fee agreement, call it a client agreement. Fee agreement is all about you and the fees you want to be paid. Client agreement makes it all about them and how we're going to work together. So those are my tips for fee agreements and for closing props. As you can see, it's always a work in progress. But if you have questions or ideas on how I could make this better, let me know. We're all working together to get better at law. So subscribe so that you never miss any of these very cool videos and very cool tips, and I will talk to you soon.